Hi, it's Olga Zarr from SEO Sly. I'm going to show you how to audit a site in less than 30 minutes. Hopefully, I can manage to do it in less than 30 minutes using Jet Octopus. Jet Octopus is a very nice SEO tool. This is an SEO crawler. It is a cloud-based SEO crawler, which means that it will crawl the site, execute JavaScript in the cloud without doing that on your computer using the resources of your computer. This is especially cool if you are auditing a bigger website, if you want to audit the site that uses JavaScript and you want to execute JavaScript. Because if you are, for example, crawling a huge e-commerce site that has millions of pages and you are doing it using, for example, Screaming Frog on your own computer and you don't have the fastest computer in the world, this may take a long time and it may slow down your computer, or you may sometimes need even weeks to complete that crawl. But here with Jet Octopus, you just press the button, and once the crawl is finished, you will see the email. You will get an email that the crawl is complete, and you just start your analysis, and that's all. So let me show you how to audit the site using Jet Octopus. Let's get started. So this is Jet Octopus. I am in the main kind of main menu, and let me show how I do it like step by step. So I have already added my site here. My site is Google Search Console data is already added to verified with Jet Octopus, and this is my site. So let's start new crawl and let me show it to you step by step. I can create a new project for the purposes of this tutorial. So SEO Sly crawl. Let audit crawler mode. So you can use the default, which is basically crawler coming in, going through the site and finding the pages as crawlers usually do. You can only crawl the sitemap depending on your needs. So, but I will be doing like the default mode. This is my cell. I can type it, sellsite.com. And crawl subdomains. In some cases, you may want to crawl subdomains. I don't. I respect robots rules. I am respecting, and I want to execute JavaScript because I want to compare the non-JavaScript versus JavaScript versions, which is usually something you want to do if the site uses JavaScript user agent. So let's use Googlebot Mobile because in most cases this is the crawler, the main crawler. And okay, advanced settings. And I think this is all that we need for this crawl. Save as project defaults and start crawl. And the crawl has started, and once it's complete, I will get an email and I will be able to review the results. And here as the crawler is going now, I want to give you a few like tips on crawling in general and doing an SEO audit. So first of all, you don't want to blindly follow what the tool is telling you, what issues the tool is showing you, because this is the tool is doing its best. But very often, what the tool marks as an issue is not necessarily an issue. Very often, what the tool will show something that, for example, is an issue, but the number of pages it affects is like very small, like one page out of, I don't know, 5,000, for example. So you always need to be aware of the scope of the issue, of whether the issue is really an issue. And there are also some other things that crawler won't be able to tell you, like, for example, if the content of the site really matches the search intent of the query, if the site is of quality, because sometimes I very often get websites to audit and I am supposed to find the technical issue that's preventing the site from being from ranking. And very often there are of course some small minor technical things, but very often these are not technical things that are preventing the site from ranking, but these are simply like low quality, lack of internal linking, or in the case of internal linking, The crawl can give you some hints, but it won't necessarily do the content siloing in the way that it should be done. So it is like doing a crawl and blindly listening to the results of the crawl of the tool is a bit similar to writing content with ChatGPT, with AI, and not checking the content, not proofreading the content. So this is more or less the worth of an automated audit with a tool and automated article written automatically with ChatGPT without any input from your human mind, any proofreading that okay, actually this article has this issues, this is not correct, this is not this does not apply to this specific thing. And this is what you always need to have. You need to have the entire context of the website. You need to know the goals of the website, the goal of the audit, because very often the goals of the audit, why you are doing the audit, are different. Sometimes you are hired to find the reason for a traffic drop. Sometimes you are hired to find a quick possible SEO win. Sometimes there, for example, the owner knows there is something wrong because there was a migration that didn't go well. And there is definitely maybe some technical thing going on, like redirects that are not done correctly. And the crawler doesn't know the history. The crawler doesn't know there was a migration, and the crawler may not necessarily tell you that the migration was done in an incorrect way. That's why you need this entire context. You need the goals. You need your own experience, your own human SEO mind, together with like your own prioritized list of things to check, together with the data that the crawler is telling you. This is awesome because I always have my own list. I always have my own things I know I need to check. I want to check my priorities, goals. And always what the crawler is showing me, there is always something else I haven't found. And of course, I'm not able to manually check a lot of things. Like I won't be manually checking the metadata of all pages or internal links on all pages or JavaScript, whether the rendered screenshot is correct. If I were to do it manually, that would probably take me ages. Of course, that depends on the size of the site, but even if the site is like 50 pages, then it would be a hard thing to do it all manually. Okay, as you can see, the crawl is finished. So let's go through the crawl and let's see what we have here. So this is the overview. We can see how many pages the Jet Octopus crawled. We can see pages versus warning issues. So this is something we'll be going through. There are some problems by categories, warning, critical. So as we can see, Jet Octopus is showing me there are some problems. Indexability status, this is great. Opened for indexation, closed from indexation. So I may definitely take a look at that, whether those closed from indexation should really be closed. Load time, great. Status codes, top directories. So like this is, I would say, nice overview. And now let's go to indexation, which is like the first report. So indexation, there are that many indexable pages, that many pages blocked by meta tag. And this is not an issue in itself, but my task is to view those pages and actually see if these are the pages that should be blocked should be actually blocked. So for example, SEO block, career, and this one, these are block categories, and these are empty block categories. So that's okay. This was my intention, so this is okay. I don't want those block categories to be indexable, so that's okay. Non-canonical pages, similar story. You can see the pages that are linked somewhere from the site, but they are not the canonical version. So here it looks like a typo on my site. So somewhere I placed the link to my internal link, and I forgot to put this trailing slash. And in WordPress, these are basically two different URLs, with trailing slash and without trailing slash. I think in that case of domain, it doesn't matter if you have the trailing slash or if you don't. But if you are in some subfolder, trailing slash makes a huge difference. And I have seen migrations where everything was intact, but there was this small change. The URLs didn't have trailing slash before, and now they have it. And this caused the Google to do the entire recrawl, the entire reassessment of the site, because for Google, basically every URL was different. So these are the things that you can spot here and assess whether this is actually an issue, whether it isn't. For me, it isn't, but it's good to know that, okay, there are two typos. I could do better here. So indexation, let me check JS performance. This is probably something that we can spend some time on. So I can see the average time for first paint, first contentful paint, page loaded, all requests completed. So not that bad. I would say this is more or less okay. I don't see anything happening here at 10 seconds, 9 seconds. I have even seen sites where this is happening at 1 minute or something like that. This is crazy. So, okay. JS errors. Are there any JS errors? Okay, so I'm seeing something is happening here with fonts. I may want to check that. This is JS for my form, subscription form for my newsletter. A few things to be checked. I assume, I don't know, this may be due to caching, because I think Rocket may be deferring some scripts or something. I don't know. This is my guess, but something I should probably take a closer look at, because it affects like practically every page on my site, and that's because I have the subscription form in the footer. So basically, every page has that script. So that's something that you always have to pay attention to. What's the pages count that a specific error relates to? So JS errors, technical. So you can see also like load time, average load time, slow pages. Okay, so 10 seconds. So I can see what are the slow pages, and I can see these are the slowest pages on my site. And these are the pages where I have, I think, video embedded, audio embedded, and then not surprisingly, these are the slowest pages. Big pages, this is also quite important, because let's say you have a big page and you totally forgot and you put like I don't know, very huge images there, and you will see those big pages here. So this is very useful. Of course, statuses, you want to see what status code is return. If you see a lot of 301s, you want to check, is it done on purpose? I know I changed my URLs multiple times in the past for a few pages. I changed the URL structure. So that's what I want to be doing. 302s, I know this is not a problem here, because these are the affiliate links, which I'm using this plugin, which creates this 302 redirect to the affiliate link. So that's okay. So statuses, redirect chains. This is something you want to check if in the case of big sites, because redirect chains in the case of big sites that have 10 plus 1,000 pages, rapidly changing pages of millions of pages that change more or less frequently, then crawling budget is something that kind of starts to become problematic. And redirect chains, if they go like, if there are like many of those hops, and those hops happen on many pages, then this can actually impact the crawl budget, the crawl budget of the site. But in the case of my site, crawl budget is absolutely not an issue. What's here? 400 pages, 500 pages. So if you see pages here, it means there are some server issues. Maybe your server is not healthy enough, and Jet Octopus was crawling and actually caused those 500 errors. So you probably want to check that, especially in the case of bigger sites. But even in the case of my site, which is a small site, I used to have a lot of 500 errors. when I was still using Bluehost. When I changed Bluehost to, I think, to Cloudways, to a dedicated server, it kind of all the problems, those types of problems kind of went away. So status is very useful report to get a clear, a quick overview of technical soundness of the site. Duplication. You always want to check that because this happens more often than it should. And there are a few things that Jet Octopus takes into account. Titles, usually titles, if there are duplicated titles, it means that some kind of duplication is happening on the site. Like, for example, you have parameters that do not actually change the content of the site, but those URLs with parameters get created, and sometimes you may have millions of those URLs. And ideally, they should they should have a no index tag, or they should have a canonical tag pointing to the version without parameters. So if you notice such huge duplication, then you probably want to check whether this is solved in some way. Google is becoming better and understanding those types of URLs and ignoring them, not necessarily indexing them. But this again, this in the case of a big site, crawl budget can be impacted. That's why titles, checking if titles are similar, if are identical, is usually the best thing to check if this type of duplication is happening, any type of duplication, to be honest. So titles, meta descriptions. Let me check. Okay, so this is the duplicated titles for SEO audits. Let me check. So two indexable pages which have this title. Let me check what pages these are. And as you can see, this is services SEO audits, non-canonical, canonical. Yeah, so this is again the mistake I did. This is the version without the trailing slash. This is the version with the trailing slash. And as you can see here, this is very useful because Jet Octopus is showing this to you right away. You don't have to do any filtering. So you open this issue and you see, okay, this is the issue and it is found at this URL. So you see, you know where to look for this issue. This is super useful. And kudos to Jet Octopus for making it that easy, because it's not always that obvious where to find on what page a specific issue is. And okay, duplication, titles H1s, H2s, kind of standard thing, and very useful if you are doing an in-depth SEO audit and you want to also analyze on-page technical or on-page content types of things. Content, this will help you find pages which are like exactly duplicated or which are similar. As you can see in the case of my site, this is okay. The duplicated ones are, let me check. Yeah, again, this the same thing without trailing slash, so something I have to fix. But this is taking into account the scale of this problem. This is not really a problem. Like, this is one page, one badly formatted URL on my site. So this is not really an issue, but this is a nice SEO mental exercise to know that a URL with trailing slash and without is a different one, unless this is the domain name, the homepage. Content. So I really like those statistics. You can see average words on a page, average unique words. This is average images. This is not necessarily indicative of anything, because like the length of content isn't actually like a ranking factor. How long your article should be really depends on, I would say, how long the article needs to be to satisfy the needs of a user, to answer the user's needs. It shouldn't be either longer or shorter. So That's as I said, I like those types of statistics. And thin pages that have fewer than 10 words, 100 words usually. Of course, you can set this filtering to sure to be higher or lower, but this is useful if you, for example, are crawling an e-commerce site and you want to see if they have like tag or category pages that don't have any text. Of course, this filter will not always detect those pages, but this is a kind of a report I always recommend looking at. Low content pages, which is pages that have some content but not necessarily enough. And I am like usually always putting a lot of content on pages. So in the case of my site, this is not an issue. Words. Again, very nice statistics for you to simply view and get a better understanding of the site. Average title words, average meta descriptions, words, average H2, H1s. Yeah, this isn't telling you whether the site is okay or not okay in terms of SEO, but as I said, nice statistics, good for you to kind of get to know the site better. JS versus HTML. So this is important, especially if the site uses JavaScript, especially if JavaScript is added, if JavaScript adds content, modifies content. And as you can see, in the case of my site, this is like 5% difference. And I know that in the case of my site, this is not a problem, but sometimes it is. And here are the most important things regarding JavaScript. JavaScript, after rendering, in some cases can change indexability. So the source code, in the source code you have like the directive index follow, but somehow after JavaScript renders is executed, the directive changes to no index, no follow, for example. And unless this is done on purpose, but I don't think it should be done on purpose this way, this can really mess things up because, for example, Google can index the source, the version without JavaScript, and this version, let's say, doesn't have enough content, is empty, so it won't rank. And then when it executes the content, executes JavaScript, it sees that actually this page shouldn't be indexed. So the page may be dropped. It may cause really the things that you probably don't want to happen. That's why this is a very useful report, because if somehow this happens on the site, you will see it here. And the same with titles. I've seen situations where the website had a perfectly optimized title in the source code, but somehow after JavaScript has been rendered, the title changed to something totally random, irrelevant, and this page or this set of pages couldn't rank. So very useful. I don't have anything changed here on my website. And change meta description, similar story. Meta description, of course, is not a ranking factor, but still, you want to know if something gets changed with JavaScript. And coming back to JavaScript, just because content is added with JavaScript doesn't make the site bad or SEO unfriendly. You just need to know as an SEO that content is added with JavaScript. You need to check what content is added with JavaScript and whether this content is visible to Google and whether Google has indexed this content. And as long as all these are okay, the site is okay, JavaScript is okay, it's okay. A links overview. So a very nice report for diving deep into internal linking. You can see external, internal links. You can quickly see the pages that have more links, less links. In the case of, for example, affiliate sites, this may be very useful to quickly spot the pages, for example, which are loaded with affiliate links. And depending on the site, on the niche, sometimes not necessarily this is something that should be happening. Internal links, overview of internal links and the number of internal links, image links, very, very useful data. and text analysis. So this is, I think, a very, very, very nice report where you can see anchor text, whether the anchor text is unique, whether anchor text is overused by the site, like the same anchor text all over the place, or I don't know, read more links. And here, for example, I can see top text I'm using, top image alt text. So as you can see, this is, I would say, okay. External links. This is again, you usually a healthy website should have some external links because you are not the end of internet. So this is how you can easily view what are the top domains you are linking to. Are these like Amazon, Walmart, Walmart, and other stuff, or are there actually other high quality relevant pages? So, for example, I link a lot to Google Search Central Documentation, to podcasts, and of course, I'm seeing Twitter, LinkedIn, and Mastodon as top linked sites because I have links to my profiles there in footer and I think in sidebar. So that's why it is like this. And that's okay in this case because I'm doing that on purpose. You can see no followed links. Google is pretty okay at recognizing that an affiliate link should be no followed, and even if you don't put a no follow or sponsored attribute, nothing really happens. But if you can do it with one click, with like a lot of plugins can help you do that, like rank math, why not do it for the purposes of like keeping your internal linking, external linking clean. So this is great. And text analysis, if the site was, for example, engaged in selling external links to other websites, and of course the anchor text is kind of, I don't know, they are selling links to casinos. I'm just making things up, but let's say they're selling links to best casino something. This is the report you want to check because you will see the top linking text to external links. And sometimes you may find something here that's really kind of a warning for you. Sometimes this is like totally okay. So I can see that I am actually linking to a lot of pages, and I can of course view those links. I can view all anchor text I'm using to kind of see what I'm doing. And as you can see, this looks in most cases, I think, okay, because I don't think I sold any link on my website. And recently I started to get, as everyone, a lot of requests to buy links from someone. And what I did, this is on off topic. What I did and what started to work, but I hope it won't get back to what it was. What I did on the contact page, because people started to ask me about buying, selling links through contact form. Of course, I'm getting tons of emails, LinkedIn messages, Twitter messages about that, but I started to get them through contact form, and I added this in details in contact form. So before they start typing their message, they see if you want to offer selling or buying links or guest posts. Don't waste your time and my time. And so far it's been working. We'll see. I hope that after watching this, someone will not start selling those messages again for me just to make me irritated. But that's an off topic. Okay. So links and external links, great if you're auditing the site, especially an affiliate site or any site that you are not sure if is totally in good books. Sitemaps. So this is analysis of the sitemap. If the site has a sitemap, I think in standard location, or if it is in indicated in robots text, then you will see the summary here. And what you are basically interested in is whether you have tons of pages that are irrelevant, and the pages that shouldn't be put in a sitemap are like non-indexable pages, redirected pages, 410, 404 pages, basically any types of pages that won't rank, that won't be indexed by Google. Like the pages on the sitemap are the pages to be indexed and ranked. And of course, the scale of the problem is something that matters here. So in the case of my site, I could not have a sitemap and I would be fine because this is a small site. But this is a WordPress site, and WordPress and all those SEO plugins create sitemaps by default. So I have one, but I would be fine not having one. And if it is a huge site you are auditing, then you probably want to spend more time on this, because if we are talking about millions of pages, then we can run into crawler budget issues, crawler budget waste. So non-200 status code pages on the sitemap, you don't want to have them, because like Google is simply like wasting time. And I have a few non 200 pages, and these are the pages, because like by default in WordPress, in rank math, I think, I'm not sure about Yoast, if you set this setting to have sitemap generated, by default, it won't add removed pages that you moved to trash, or pages that have a no index tag. It won't put them into sitemap. But there is an exception. I had those pages live and I turned them into drafts, and they're still there, but they're drafts. So for the public, like for Googlebot, for someone who's not logged into site, they are 404s. And this is the exception when they're still in my sitemap, but Google and normal users won't see them. They would see them as 404. That's why they appear here. But of course, this is not a huge issue. This is not a crawl budget issue for my site. This is nothing, but again, a nice mental SEO exercise. Sitemaps, custom extraction. So if you need any custom extraction, you can do it here with Jet Octopus. I'm trying to show you how to audit the site in 30 minutes, so I won't be going into that. So this is more or less the crawler, the main kind of reports. Of course, you have those data tables here. You can really dive deep into specific things like images as links, external images, internal images. This is really, really so useful, even for me, to get to know my own site. I built my own site. I was like, I'm doing everything on my site, but seeing those things, this data presented here in this way, really is really interesting, and kind of something in some cases, I didn't know that, for example, I'm using this anchor text so many times. I didn't even realize that because I wasn't doing that on purpose. So data tables, I strongly recommend you take a look at them. And now let's move on to ideas, which is like another extra report, which is very, very, I would say, interesting. And I strongly recommend you take a deeper look at that. For example, like you have this SEO efficiency, which is really, really interesting. It's showing you the pages visited by Googlebot, pages that are internally linked, and pages with impressions. So very, very interesting report if you want to like, but you have to have some GSC data. The site actually has to have some rankings, some visibility, because this is what this report is based on. We have structure efficiency, which is again something very, very interesting to see. I strongly recommend you check it. It shows you, for example, the average referring indexable pages. So you can easily see what pages probably could do better in terms of internal linking. And like, for example, this one, SEO glossary, average referring indexable pages. So this is the number of pages open to indexation which refer to other pages within the selected category. So I strongly recommend, especially in the case of bigger sites where internal linking structure becomes very, very important, way more important than in the case of smaller sites, which are quite easy to interlink. SEO problems. So this is where the tool is showing you the problems it thinks your site has, and this is where you as an SEO have to like step in and decide whether this is actually a problem. So for example, I can see 0-click pages, which are basically the pages that don't get any clicks. And let's visit that report and see what pages are these. And from what I see, these are jump links to specific sections of my site, of a specific page. So not really a problem. These are like category pages. So I strongly recommend you play with those things, because iframe text, it looks so weird, it looks bad. But for example, I know this is where I have videos embedded, so not a problem really. For example, HTTP resources on the page. So this doesn't look that okay. And what is it? So I can see that on this page, I have two HTTP resources. So definitely something for me to check. Okay, and this is more or less what this tool can do. It can do way more, but I'm trying to keep that at 30 minutes. I think I failed miserably, but still, I strongly recommend you do a crawl. You crawl the site with JetOctopus and try to dive deep into those different reports, always keeping in mind like the perspective, the context of the site, your experience, your goals, and your own kind of checklist you use to audit the site. But this is a great way for you to both learn about the site, look at the site from different perspectives, and become a better SEO auditor, because you will be learning new things as well with every audit, with every crawl, with analysis of every report. You will almost always learn something new, and there are a lot of ways of customizing those data tables. So I strongly recommend you do. And yeah, I hope you learned a lot from this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.